Ever had one tiny criticism completely shake your confidence? Criticism can feel like a punch to the gut, but why does it hit us so hard? Well, our brains are naturally wired to see criticism as a threat. When someone says, "You could have done better," our minds quickly translate it to, "You're not good enough." No wonder it feels so personal. But here's the thing. Not all criticism is actually about you. Often, it's just someone's perspective, not a personal attack. Think of criticism as a different view on your work, not a judgment on who you are. With this mindset, we can stay on our growth path without letting our confidence take a hit. Is it me or the feedback? Separating yourself from criticism. So here's the big question. Is the criticism really about you, or is it just the feedback? It's easy to take criticism personally, like a direct hit on our skills, or even our taste in pizza toppings. But here's a little secret. Not every piece of feedback is about you at all. Sometimes it's just someone else's perspective sneaking in. Think of it this way. Let's say you order a coffee with almond milk, but the barista accidentally gives you soy. You just let them know, right? You wouldn't take it as a personal insult. Criticism works the same way. People are just voicing their soy opinions, and it's not a reflection of your worth. So next time someone throws out a piece of feedback, take a deep breath. Give yourself a mental high five, and remember, it's about the almond milk, not you. Keeping a little distance from the feedback lets you stay focused on what really matters and saves you a ton of emotional energy. Constructive or destructive? How to spot the difference. Not all criticism is created equal. Some of it's genuinely helpful, like a friend pointing out you've got spinach in your teeth before a big meeting. That's constructive criticism. It's there to help you, even if it stings a little. But then there's destructive criticism, which is more like someone just laughing at the spinach in your teeth without offering a napkin. Not so helpful, right? The key here is learning to spot the difference. Constructive criticism gives you directions like a GPS saying, "Turn right here to improve." Destructive criticism is more like someone yelling, "You're lost," without any real guidance. One helps you move forward, the other just leaves you wandering. So next time someone critiques you, ask yourself, is this feedback like GPS, or is it just noise? The trick is to take what's useful and ignore the rest. Your confidence will thank you. The magic trick, turning criticism into fuel for growth. Imagine if every piece of criticism you received was actually a magic potion that helped you level up. Crazy, right? But that's exactly how we can look at it. Criticism doesn't have to be a confidence crusher. It could be a confidence builder if we use it the right way. Think of it like this. Every time someone gives you feedback, they're handing you a tool. Sure, it might look like a random hammer at first, but if you use it right, it can help you build something amazing. Instead of letting criticism knock you down, take what's helpful and make it your own little power-up for personal growth. So next time you hear feedback, say, "Thanks for the tip," and secretly add it to your toolkit. You'll be amazed at how criticism can actually boost your skills and confidence. Reacting without the drama, managing your emotional response. So, someone just gave you feedback, and it feels a bit like a punch to the gut. It's easy to let emotions take over. But here's a trick. Imagine that feedback is like someone suggesting you try pineapple on pizza. Sure, it's not your favorite idea, but it's just a suggestion, not the end of the world. When criticism lands, take a deep breath. Laugh about it if you can. Turning feedback into a joke keeps it from settling too deep. Think of it as a little test of your emotional balance. Spiraling over criticism is like giving that person free rent in your head, which, honestly, they haven't earned. So next time, smile, nod, and say, "Thanks, but I'll stick with my regular pizza." Keeping calm lets you handle criticism with grace and keeps your energy for what truly matters. Setting boundaries with criticism. You're the boss of your confidence. Let's get one thing straight. Not everyone's opinion deserves a spot on your wall of important feedback. You're the boss of your confidence, and that means deciding whose feedback matters and whose doesn't. Think of it like hosting a party. You wouldn't invite everyone on the street, just your closest friends, right? Criticism works the same way. Your trusted friends, mentors, and people who truly get you are the ones who should be at your feedback party. The rest, well, they don't need an invite. Setting boundaries with criticism keeps you in control. So, the next time you're bombarded with opinions, take a moment to think. Is this someone I'd actually trust with advice? If not, thank them politely and move on. You're in charge of what you let in, and your confidence will stay all the stronger for it. Finding the silver lining in feedback, even if it's tough. Sometimes, criticism can feel like a dark cloud looming over you. But here's the trick. There's often a silver lining hidden inside, even if it's tough to see at first. Think of it like looking for a prize in a cereal box. Sure, you have to dig through a lot of flakes, but there's usually something valuable in there. The same goes for feedback. Even the harshest criticism might have a useful nugget of advice buried in it. Instead of focusing on what feels negative, ask yourself, is there anything here I can actually use? By shifting your perspective, you'll find that even the toughest feedback can help you improve. So next time someone hands you a critique, don't just see the cloud. Look for that little silver lining. You'll walk away stronger and a little wiser every time. Practice self-compassion. You're allowed to be a work in progress. Here's a friendly reminder. Just because someone critiques your work doesn't mean they're critiquing you. You're allowed to be a work in progress. Are we all? Self-compassion is key here. Instead of beating yourself up over every piece of criticism, remind yourself that nobody's perfect, not even close. Think of self-compassion like giving yourself a pat on the back after a tough day. When you face feedback, take a moment to say, "Hey, I'm learning, and that's awesome." Embrace your journey. Laugh at the little bumps along the way. And remember, you're growing at your own pace. So next time you're feeling a bit knocked down by criticism, give yourself a mental high five and say, "I've got this." Being kind to yourself makes all the difference. When to ask for clarification and why it's not a bad thing. Sometimes, feedback can sound as clear as a foggy morning, vague and confusing. Did they mean you should change everything or just tweak one tiny part? Here's a tip. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign you care about getting it right. Instead of guessing, simply ask, "Can you explain what you meant?" People usually appreciate it, and you'll be saving yourself a lot of unnecessary worry. Plus, it shows you're serious about improving, something even the toughest critics can respect. Creating a criticism survival plan, your personal toolkit for confidence. Since criticism is here to stay, why not have a criticism survival plan ready? Think of it as your emergency kit for confidence. Decide who you'll listen to, how you'll handle feedback, and how to keep your cool. Having a go-to plan means that when criticism shows up, you won't be caught off guard. You'll handle it like a pro with calm and confidence. Remember, your plan is your secret weapon. With it, you're prepared to take on any feedback without breaking a sweat. Conclusion: embracing feedback as a path to growth. At the end of the day, criticism can actually be one of your greatest tools for growth. Sure, it might sting at first, but with the right mindset, it can help you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Embrace feedback as a guide, not a roadblock, and use it to fuel your progress. You're in control of what you take in, so let criticism be the thing that helps you reach your full potential. Ready to show the world what you're made of? Let's turn that feedback into confidence fuel and keep growing.